Made with spoken. Feedback Loop by Steve Lance. Digital narration, performed by multiple digital voices. The boys head north toward Windsor to buy another load of whiskey. They plan to spend the night in Canada. Ben will get a chance to cause a ruckus, and so is Wild Oats. He'll probably catch a dose of the clap, but that's his problem. Hopefully he keeps an eye out for Joe, but it's a good bet some girl with good-smelling hair is going to end up with his $50. Oh well. It will be good for the boys to cut loose. And with them gone, I can take care of Hank Robertson without them asking a bunch of pesky questions. It's been a week since I got dumped in Lake Erie, and the feedback loop is increasing. Every morning my headache is a little more intense. The pills help, but I can tell their effect is diminishing. Damn, Frank. For only giving me a month's supply. I guess it won't matter after I kill Hank. Those morons better be correct about breaking the feedback loop. I thought of many ways to kill Hank. But in the end, the simplest is the best. Hank is a drunk who stumbles home every night. I'll look for a suitable spot and kill him, make it look like a robbery that went south. The cops won't spend much effort trying to track down his killer. Besides, there are no DNA tests or security cameras in the 1920s to worry about. Wear gloves and make sure nobody sees you, simple enough. I do some work around the house, putting plywood on the broken windows, rehanging the garage doors, replacing a missing porch step. With plenty of time before Hank gets off work, I take Buster for a walk along Hamilton Avenue. He's fully settled into being our dog now. I wish I could adjust to the 1920s as easily. I don't miss the prison cell, but it would be nice to breathe air that isn't thick with coal soot. James and Frank are expecting regular messages from me, so I sent one asking for a gun, telling them I need it to kill Hank. Of course, they won't send me one, but I also asked for 4 beds, pointing out that I would buy them, except they dropped my gold in the lake. I'm unsure how long that will work, but they sent me 4 army cots and a stack of wool blankets. It's a start, and the boys will be happy not to sleep on the floor. I also receive a case of beer. I'm sure it was from James. That prick Frank probably has no idea he sent it. It is a little past 5 p.m., and the winter sun sinks below the horizon. Hank will have finished his shift at the steel mill and is undoubtedly sitting on his usual stool, annoying people at the cold forge. By the time I arrive, he will be well on his way to becoming inebriated. What a pathetic life. How he ever got my great-grandmother to marry him is a mystery. Knocking him off will be more of a mercy killing than anything else. Put him and everyone around him out of their misery. The cold forge sits across the street from a pier overlooking the mouth of the Cuyahoga River as it spills into Lake Erie. The moving water has not frozen over, and chunks of ice bob in the water. It's a cold, moonless night, and I duck into the speakeasy to get warm and keep my eye on Hank. The waitress approaches my table in the back corner and says,
"The stew has fresh venison. The owner shot the buck himself."
I shake my head.
"We have a new supplier of first-rate Canadian whiskey. It's still 20 cents a drink."
She leans in and whispers,
"The owner says he got a really good price on it."
I think good to know. The price of whiskey just went up. I smile and say, "I'll take a beer." She wipes down the table and says,
"You sure about the stew? I had some myself. It's awfully good."
"Just the beer." She frowns and warns me it's not that good. Doesn't matter. I need to keep a clear head. Hank should be drunk, not me. Hank is his usual drunk, obnoxious self. He grabs the waitress and pats her on the ass. 100 years from now, that would get him tossed from the bar. Here, it goes unnoticed. I find it hard to believe I'm related to this boar. Not our family's proudest moment. I guess every family has one. It's a shame it has to be my great-grandpa. At least I get to kill him. A man who looks familiar enters the bar, sees Hank, and reaches over him to order a shot of whiskey. I'm not sure where I've seen him before. Hank glances at him and mutters something under his breath. The man gives him a sharp elbow as he receives his drink, and the two exchange heated words. As I watch, the feedback loop increases in intensity. Until now, it had been surprisingly mild. I had figured I would only be able to spend a few minutes this close to Hank, but it wasn't a problem until this guy showed up. I wonder if the arguing increases the feedback. Maybe the intensity of emotion plays a role. I'll have to ask James. Of course, he will give me a 20-minute lecture on the subtleties of time travel and feedback loops when all I want is a yes or no. Regardless, my head is splitting. I need to get out of this place. I'll wait for Hank outside. I duck into an alley with a clear view of the door. It is cold as shit. The feedback is a little better, but not much. I watch the man who gave Hank the elbow leave, and the feedback lessens. The argument must have caused the spike. I'll put that in my next report to James. Those morons better send more than a pizza back. It's past 1 a.m. before Hank stumbles out of the bar. Shit, he can barely walk. I have a piece of wire I'm going to use to choke him to death. It's been a long time since I killed anyone. Damn, seeing as I'm 100 years in the past, I guess I've never killed anyone. None of my crimes have happened yet. I'm what you call an upstanding citizen, unless you include the bootlegging I did the other day, the stolen truck, or the illegal beer I bought earlier. Crap. That's the problem with the government. Too many laws. How is a person supposed to stay clean? Hank stumbles across the street to the pier. He leans over the railing and takes a piss into the river. Now is as good a time as any. I come up from behind, and as I'm about to put the wire around his neck, he looks back, loses his balance, and falls into the river. He struggles to keep his head above water, arm flailing, trying to grab anything that will save him. Hank goes under once and pops back up, gasping for air. He goes under a second time and manages to make it back to the surface. He sees me watching, and his eyes plead for help. He mouths the words, "Please save me," before his heavy coat and boots drag him down for the last time. Shit, that was easy. I didn't even touch him. This means I'm no longer a murderer. I didn't have to kill Hank. His dumb ass took care of that for me. And since he is now dead, all my killings in the future are erased. Maybe this is a chance to turn over a new leaf. James told me just because I was a psychopath didn't mean I had to be a murderer. Nah. I will run into someone who needs killing sooner or later. Most likely sooner. I can still feel the feedback loop. Maybe it needs time to clear out of my system. I'll go home and get a good night's rest. It should be gone in the morning. The sun breaks through the window, and two eyes stare at me. I try to pull the cover over my head, but a cold nose pushes the blanket aside, and Buster licks my face. You know, I've killed men for less than that. Buster tilts his head and barks once. The boys are still in Canada on another whiskey run. It's my job to look after Buster. What do you feed a dog? I guess he can eat what I eat. My head is pounding, and I take a feedback pill. It reduces the pain to a mild headache. I should have known better than to trust those two jerks. I did my part and killed Hank, but the feedback remains. This better not mean my brain is going to fry. This is what happens when you work with incompetent morons. Come on, Buster. We are going to file a complaint with the 21st century. Buster wags his tail and follows me to the basement. James had instructed me on what to do after killing my great-grandfather. Since I would have never existed in the future, those two morons will not know who I am. They gave me a thumb drive with all the information about me and our little science experiment. They told me to return it after Gramps is dead. This way, I can bring them up to speed, and they will understand why a person from the past is sending them messages. Hey, assholes, this is Stan Robertson. Read what is on the thumb drive, and it will explain who I am. You screwed me again. First, you dumped my gold in the lake, and now I kill Hank, and the feedback loop is still active. You better have not lied to me. And there is a way to stop the feedback. It is getting worse every day. Tell me what to do. I put the message in the coffee can and look at Buster. I'm dealing with morons. Buster wags his tail. A moment later, a blue flash crosses the ceiling and a football falls to the floor. Buster barks and tries to bite it. The ball scoots away from him, and I grab it. There is a note taped to it and a thumb drive.
We know who you are. Are you sure Hank is dead? Everything here is still the same. We sent the thumb drive back. You will need to resend it once you kill Hank for real. P.S. The football is because we needed something to throw into the time portal. A note alone could not break the surface. Don't bitch about it, and no, we are not going to use gold.
Buster, you see what I have to deal with? Of course he is dead. Nobody could survive in that freezing water. Dear assholes, yes, he is dead. I saw his body sink into the river. No way he survived. Stan, P.S. At least send the notes with something I can use. I have a hungry dog. Send the next message attached to some dog food. A few seconds passed, and a blue flash lit up the room. A 5-pound bag of dog food with a note attached landed on the floor. Dry dog food, and not even a premium brand. Cheap bastards. Buster turned his head sideways and gave me a confused look. Don't worry about it, buddy. We will get you fed in a second. But don't blame me for the quality of your food. It's Frank's fault. I think his mother dropped him on his head.
So you didn't see the body? You better go and confirm he is dead. All indications are that your great-grandfather is still alive. If he is dead, then you have to kill your great-grandmother, Frank.
I dashed off another note. You said killing my great-grandmother wouldn't work. I can't believe anything you say. Buster is not happy about the dog food. He wants a better brand. Another blue flash and a bone with a note dropped to the floor. I take the note and toss the bone to Buster. He grabs the bone, goes to a corner, and starts chewing.
I didn't want you taking the easy way out. Hank was a drunk and a wife-beater. I didn't mind you killing him. Sylvia is a kind lady. But you have no choice now. Either that or your brain will fry.
I knew those guys were lying. It made no sense I couldn't kill either great-grandparent. And of course, Hank would be my first choice. I am not about to kill a sweet old lady, even if she isn't old yet. They didn't need to play me like that. All right, Buster, let me fill your water and food bowl, then I have to go to the dock and figure out what happened. Never work with morons.
Professional audiobooks in a click. Spoken.